Hi, it's Barry Upton here, and I've got two great friends of mine here with me. Now, my previous album was called The Hormones of Happiness, and both of these people actually have the hormones of happiness. Is that right? Robin Cox from Denmark, and Chawie, who is he's 100% blind, she's 100% from Uganda, and it's amazing. You know, they've got it together, and they're here in Pattaya, and it's great to have them here. I'm going to talk to Robin first. So, Robin, am I right in thinking you've been blind since birth?
Correct, Barry. I was born 2.5 months prematurely, so I've been blind since I was born.
Right. So you see things in a different way to us. This is the interesting part.
That's right. I do.
Yeah. And how do you see the world?
You know, the way I see the world, for example, a lovely place like this where we are today, I get in and I listen how the environment is, feeling the breeze, and it's always about the feeling and the sounds that makes me see the different places.
Right, and you do get a picture in your mind, don't you?
Oh, I do. Straight away when we came in here, like being here for 1 or 2 minutes, I have like a picture of how this area is, the restaurant, the bar here.
Yeah.
And it's very, and I can hear the ocean. So it's easy for me to make a picture in my head how it is. Maybe there are details, how does it just look maybe over at the bar, that kind of thing. But in all, I get the picture of how it is here, and it's just lovely.
Now, growing up, you've obviously been taught how to use Braille and how to communicate.
That's right.
But is it easy to create a vibe within your head of the people around you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, the lucky thing is, as I've always been interested in radio, media business and all that, I started from a very early age going round to studios, visiting, and from my, shall we say, my thing taking part in the media business in Denmark, it was easy for me to get in the vibe and communicating with so many interesting people. I mean, I had my first interview on the BBC when I was 9 years old.
Now the thing is, you're half English, half Danish.
That's right. That's
Which
right.
is why you speak Danish perfectly. You also speak English better than most of us.
I can probably thank my dad for that.
Right. He was obviously very instrumental in, well, your parents obviously, but in your education.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
What kind of education would you say? How would you think of it as being different to the average person's education?
I mean, the only difference in my education was that when I was 6 or 7 years old, starting in my school, I remember I had to have a few lessons where I had to go in a room for myself with a teacher to start to learn Braille. And as soon as I had mastered the Braille and I could write it on a machine and everything, it was like an old machine with paper in it that time, I could just, I just followed the normal lessons. I mean, I was there Danish, maths, and in the maths I got some special papers where I could feel the different circles and the triangles and what we were going to do. And I got it all in. And my mom or dad could help me if I had something with my homework. So all in all, I just followed the class.
Now, I've known you for about 12 years or so.
Yeah, must have been. Yeah.
And the thing that always amazes me every time I meet you is nothing phases you. Is there anything that's ever caused you a problem?
Not really a big problem. There could be small things, for example, going out. For example, where we are living right now, sometimes I can't just find the chairs at the swimming pool and I have to rumble a bit around with my stick.
Have to be careful not to fall into the swimming pool.
Actually, the other day I just tapped my stick in the swimming pool. Oh, we have to go a little bit to the left. But otherwise, Barry, I don't really, I take every day as an experience as positive as I can. Yeah. So when I wake up in the morning, I want to get the most out of life. I want to get the most out of the day, and that's I really think that's how I don't face big problems. There could be, as you say, small things, obstacles during the day, but it's so small. In a few minutes, it's solved, and then I'm ongoing with the next thing.
And I think that's the most inspiring thing is that so many people complain about this, complain about that. You don't complain about anything, do you? You just take it in your stride.
That's right. That's right.
You have a positive outlook.
Oh, I do. That's really always been my main thing. I always try to focus on the positive side. All the great people I meet, all the great experiences I can get, And that's just how I do it. And I've always done that. I think I got that, for example, from my dad, my mom and dad, especially my dad. He always said, we're going to have a brilliant day today when I was little. Yeah. Let's look forward to holiday. Let's look forward to the sunshine and see where we are today in a sunshine resort.
And of course, you can feel the sunshine, can't
For
you?
sure.
You can feel the rain. And what I'm trying to say is that your other senses, okay, you don't have sight, but your other senses are kind of expanded, aren't they? They're more... They're sort of larger.
Indeed, they are expanded. For example, when I walk with my cane, I can tap it on the ground. I can hear the reflections from the walls, so I know how things are working out.
Right.
Yeah, it's really good. When I walk around, I can just tap my cane, and then I can hear, okay, the reflection over there. I have to go that way. They'll find the stairs, or they'll find this and that. And I've just, gone with that from the beginning, and it's just been a natural thing all my life.
Now, what about, you hear us talking about colours, okay?
Yeah.
Now, how do you differentiate? I mean, you can't really see colours, so how do you imagine them?
People have tried to describe me colours, and I got some pictures in my head. For example, blue, I always think about, the blue ocean, the lovely, relaxing, calming things. Yeah. Red, maybe strawberries. I always try to connect some nice things to the different colours.
Right.
That's how I do it.
That's a clever way of doing it.
Thank you.
And music has been a massive thing for you, hasn't it?
It has. I've always loved music. From when I was very, very little, I started interested in listening to my cassette tapes and everything in my room.
Yeah. And I know that radio is a passion of yours. And,
for sure.
And that's a leveller, because we all listen to the radio in the same way.
Yeah,
you make up your own pictures, don't you?
That's right. And what I like, for example, with my radio programs, I like to take them to the next level, shall we say, because being, for example, blind, I sometimes, if I have an interview, I try to get even more descriptions from my guests. Right. For example, when they say, just to give an example, if they record a music video, I say, first of all, describe the location. For example, then, describe how many were you in the video. Right. Describe what were you wearing. Did you wear some special things? And because I do that, the listener, without seeing the video, they get a picture of what's going on.
And you hear people's voices, and you can remember things so well. Your mind is obviously more powerful, I think, or you're using your mind more powerfully.
Maybe that's the way.
Some of us.
I think that's the way. Maybe I use it in that way, more powerful, because I'm so interested, shall we say, I've always been interested in people from every walks of life.
Right.
So, whoever I meet, I'm very interested. Do they have a story? Do they have something where we maybe could connect and meet up again? And, could meet somebody wherever it could be.
How did we meet? Come on. I remember you coming to a gig in England of mine, right. And that was about 12, 13 years ago.
That's right. I actually remember the first time we met was that time, but the reason why I heard about you, shall we say, I heard your first ever day in September 2009 when you were premiering on 96 FM Pattaya People Radio.
You can even remember the dates.
Nearly. I could probably work back in my head what date it was. It was a Tuesday or Wednesday morning, September 2009. As far as that, I'll take it.
And then you came to see me play in England. I remember you coming to the Concord Club in Southampton.
I did.
And with an uncle, was it?
But my dad's cousin. My dad's cousin. Yeah. And he lives in Farnham near Guildford. Yeah. And I said to him, I know this good guy. Can we go and see a concert? He said, why not? Let's do it.
And then, of course, you've been coming to Pattaya quite a lot since then. Yeah. And you've always visited the station, and we've always been friends ever since.
Up. Yeah, for sure, Barry. And I mean, that's how I love it. The connection like that, us meeting, actually, shall we say, nearly through the radio, then taking it from there, and there we are today, good friends, having fun, meeting every time. Right.
Now, from meeting me, I want you to explain how you met your lovely Charity, your lovely partner.
That's right. That's another fun story. 2019, you were having your weekly gig at the Classroom Hotel.
Right.
So me and my friend from Denmark, a high school friend of mine called Peter, we were sitting in Denmark thinking, shall we go to the Philippines for once, or shall we go back to Thailand? And then his dad said, why don't you go back to Thailand? We said, okay, we'll do that, of course. We love Pattaya. So we went here, had a brilliant time. We were coming to the Classroom, and in the concert, you were always, and you still do, you have a good tradition of telling what countries people are from.
Yes.
So you were saying...
I love international audiences.
and you were saying this, welcome to Canada, welcome to Uganda. And I said to myself, hang on a second, who is from Uganda? And then comes the fun story. In the classroom, I didn't get a chance to say hello to Charity, who's obviously now, she's sitting here, she's from Uganda. But then 2 days later, we were at the Lion Pub, another gig of yours, and in the door comes Charity again. So we said hello again, and just a quick hello, and then in the break of the two sets of your gig, I said, okay, I want to approach this young woman to try to say hello, and I wanted to, as we're doing now, ask her for an interview, because what is a young woman doing from Uganda in Pattaya?
Yes.
She
was dancing mostly.
Oh, for sure, she was.
Amazing. That's what I kept commenting on, was her great dancing. She was a wonderful dancer.
Oh yeah, and I heard her in the crowd, and I thought she had a really lovely, positive energy. I could hear that straight.
And you can pick up on energy.
Yeah, coming back to that. Yeah. Coming back to that, I could hear. Being
blind has its advantages.
So I went over there, had a chat to her, and we just got each other's Facebook accounts.
Yeah.
And then we kept in touch when we came home to our respective countries.
Yeah.
And over 2 years, we kept in connection. And after 2 years and 3 months, I went to Kampala, Uganda, and the rest is history.
And there was an extra connection, which we'll talk about in just a moment.
For sure.
Right, okay, let's talk to Charity. Charity, you look splendid.
Thank
and
you.
And you're 100% from Uganda.
Yes,
Tell
I am.
me, what it was like growing up in Uganda?
Yeah, growing up in Africa,
Yeah.
well, I think it's okay. I mean, usual for everybody.
It's not easy, right?
Yeah. I used to do so many, juggling from one job to another.
Yeah.
It's not easy, especially when you're a high school dropout.
Right.
So you have to find jobs from one to another until you have to, make ends meet.
Yes.
Well, I did not really afford to do the travelings myself. I met nice people like Robin,
yes,
that would be interested to
take you somewhere.
Take me with them.
And very luckily, you came to Pattaya.
Yeah.
And I as we were talking about a moment ago, I remember you as a fantastic dancer. You were dancing like nobody's watching. There's a great expression, dance like nobody's looking at you, And you were doing that.
Yes, because I make sure that I live in the moment and I have, positive energy, positive vibrations. Everything is just amazing at the moment. I have to, enjoy myself.
So when you first met Robin, did you pick up on the vibes from him, his positive energy?
Well, that's very interesting because when, you are playing and all of a sudden you go for a break and you disappear, and where do you go? To Robin.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, okay, why are you giving him so much attention? Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I tried to figure it out, but then, I'm just only someone in your audience.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, but you stand out. Not just because of your colour, but because of the way you dress, because of your
colourful,
your freedom. The freedom with which you express yourself.
Yes, I love to express myself through my, my authentic self.
Yeah.
Feel the vibration, get to the, energy.
Yeah.
I love that, that positive energy runs through me.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is life. You have to live it. And where I come from, we don't have all these things.
No.
So when you go
it's
to
a landlocked country, isn't it?
Yes.
You don't have the ocean.
We don't have the ocean. We don't have this beautiful, amazing space where someone can freely express themselves and be open and dress the way you want to dress and all that. So when you come to a place like this, you have to just embrace it and enjoy. And live in the moment. I guess.
Having a partner who is blind there must be a few problems. Is there?
Well, I try not to see the problems because there are no problems really. There's such a because Robin can take care of himself. He has lived by himself for so many years.
Right.
So he has managed to take care of himself basically.
Yeah. So the help you can provide is
It's
just small.
Small help, guide him around, maybe tell him where certain things are, just in case.
And you can describe things.
I can describe things, and then,
Well, you
not
two
too
have
much.
really got it together, and I'm so pleased. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. And let's just say that, you know, I was talking about this making a connection. But he's made a connection in more ways than one, because now you're 6 months pregnant.
Yeah, I'm 27 weeks
Wow.
now,
Yeah.
pregnant, and it's, you know, it's one day, you know, one step at a time, one day at a time.
And
You have to go
if
through
it's
it.
a boy, you are going to call it Barry Upton.
You know, I'm strongly thinking about that.
Well, it's just.
Well, if it wasn't because of you introducing us the way you do, or as always, Robin wouldn't have known that I was in the crowd.
I kind of pick up on people with positive vibes, you know?
Exactly.
And this is the whole point, you know? There's so many negative people in the world that people with positive vibes stand out,
Exactly.
right? So I think it's so good that you two have got together. And really, I'm so
It's
pleased.
always nice to pick up positive energy towards you because it brings you positive energy.
Yep, there you go.
What you give is what you get.
Isn't that so true? What you give is what you get. That's exactly the whole point. Right. Now, I've got something special I want to do here. As I said, my last album was called The Hormones of Happiness, and you two win the prize for the biggest hormones of happiness that I've come across, right? So there you go. I'm going to present you with the Hormones of Happiness t-shirt. There's a Hormones of Happiness t-shirt.
Thank you.
We should all have the hormones of happiness, correct? Yes!
Every day here in Pattaya.
You should get the hormones of happiness.
I'm so excited.
Amazing.
Oh my God, this is so amazing.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
Oh my God.
There ain't nothing that anyone else can do, 'cause happiness is an inside job. Oh, yeah. Well, happiness, happiness. Happiness, happiness. Yeah, happiness, happiness. Happiness is an inside job. Sing it! Oh, happiness, happiness. Ooh, happiness, happiness. Yeah, happiness, happiness. Happiness is an inside job.